Good morning. I've set myself up here in my bed this morning to do a little drawing. I just thought it's a good idea, as usual, starting the day. Well, I don't usually do it, but I usually think it's a good idea. Anyway, I had these lovely flowers from the Dalkeith Arts Group. Aren't they gorgeous? I just love them. And I thought if I sit them down there, you'll be able to see them and see my board. Now, I'm not sure if you're able to actually see the drawing. I'm kind of holding it like that. I've got paints here as well, so I might just use paint so that you can see. But I will be using paint anyway, I'd say. Yeah, I'm going to start with the drawing anyway. We'll see. I just kind of got a little bit excited there as I noticed I've got a pen in the jar of markers beside me. That's the colour of the... I'll show you. That's the colour of those lilies. Just when I saw it there, I thought, oh, that would work for the light green of the buds of the lilies as they catch the light there. There's some nice shapes to draw here. And in actual fact, it might be better for you if I was to just bring the camera closer to my drawing so that you can see it now that you have an image of the flowers anyway. I don't know if I can actually do that though. Oh, there we are. And if anyone did want a photograph of the flowers, just let me know and I can send them to you. I'll take a photo after I've done this and send the photo to you by email if you want to get in touch. That's what I did at the weekend. I was drawing Lily, my daughter, for a demonstration at Dalkeith, and we decided in advance that it would be a good idea to take a photograph of her from my angle so that if anyone did want to have a look at the videos of me painting her after and have a go at this approach to, well, at the time it was watercolour I was using there, but yeah. Oh, I put up loads of drawings and things the other day, yesterday actually. I stuck up loads of pictures on my bedroom wall and they're all falling down because I didn't stick them up properly. I was listening to this lovely talk by somebody about, from fear to courage, and it's about, yesterday they were talking about wearing or creating your cloak of protection. And as she was talking, I realised, I've been drawing cloaks of protection, or not really calling them that, of course, but drawing and painting. There's often an image of like a protective kind of. Well, I don't know if it's protective, but just like when I play with drawing and painting, sometimes it's to draw, a figure with arms outstretched, reaching upwards, and like loads of colours and things. I'm looking at them now, and it's hard to explain them, but sure, again, if you want to see them, send me an email. But so I have been kind of doing this thing of creating. Oh yeah, there we are. Thought I'd forgotten that. I'd forgotten my brushes, but I left them in the bag down by the side of the bed, and then I thought, I've got one brush in the bedside table, so rather than set everything up again, I just got this smaller brush, which suits me fine. There's another one. Another painting, biting the dust. Anyway, I was talking about the colourful kind of paintings that, in a way, were doing the thing. They make me feel like, well, hey, about life, and like I can manage stuff, and these drawings and paintings. I think it's colour really that's actually very. Trying to find my place here. Colour seems to me to be one of those things that really does shift, and just this business of putting colour in whatever way, pencils, paint, whatever it is, onto paper or anything. Like at the art centre, what they've painted is these incredible life-size sheep. They're the Aldi sheep. I think they were sponsored by Aldi to make them. And they've got a Frida Kahlo sheep, and the Frida Kahlo one is incredible. It's like I don't know if you know Temerus Beasties, the Glasgow based. At least I've seen their shop in Glasgow. textile shop, you know, where they do incredible prints. And one of those chairs, I really wanted to buy one of their chairs one time. I mean, they're costly, but not, you know, they're because the work is so individual, unique, and beautiful. I felt like I could save up for that now for myself. That'd be a lovely piece to own. And then I remembered Maisie and all the carry on at home, you know, my splashy paint, and I thought actually maybe I won't. But anyway, the Dolly, not Dolly, there are two Dolly sheeps as well. But this one was Frida Kahlo, and she had all over her this incredibly beautiful pattern, uplifting, hopeful. Like it was blues, turquoises, and I think there might have been some like gold paint in there and stuff. Because it just felt like it was really imaginative, gorgeous, just like her paintings. You know, this very beautiful, and they had taken things from her paintings, obviously. But very beautiful colours and like butterflies, bright, beautiful things. Why am I talking about that now? What was it that I was telling you about? Oh yeah, I was talking about colour. Well, I say oh yeah, I'm kind of only vaguely remembering. Something about colour and how it can lift the mood and create shifts. Pattern as well, and what colours you choose to put beside each other. But the thing too is to just the act of you in your individual self putting a mark on a piece of paper, even if it's not colourful at all. I remember a few years ago feeling really down, and I ended up going outside and getting some soil, and God, it was great. I had a good cry and wet my hands and put the soil in my hands and made some shapes on the paper with the soil. Again, you'll probably think I'm nuts. But actually, you know, this kind of thing, we're connected to the soil. It's a long time since we've had the connection that I think we naturally need to have with our earth. And I certainly feel the benefit of walking barefoot occasionally in the woods, or, you know, and it's unusual that we kind of, like when I lie down out in the woods sometimes, inevitably if anyone passes they come and check. It's a nice thing, but they want to see if I'm okay, because it's such an unusual, like it's, and maybe I'm not okay, I don't know. But you know, I am actually blissed out lying in the woods there, and I just feel, at the time I feel almost resentful that it's disturbed by the anxiety of somebody around my health, you know, about whether my mental health is okay. Isn't that silly? It's not silly. It's just that I feel like one of the things, and we know forest bathing is really good for us, like that thing in Japan, you know, where they have actual, like the doctors, even medical doctors would recommend forest bathing, walking barefoot in the woods and soaking it up. So it does feel like it's just something that isn't maybe common in our culture yet. And I can understand, like I would probably sometimes, it is a good Samaritan thing to do anyway. But I wish it was more normal. I wish it was, you know, the checking up on me is a good Samaritan thing to do, I mean. But I do wish that it was more of a normal thing. And you didn't end up feeling a little bit unhinged. That's my word of the week. And just because you lay down on the ground, you know. Anyway, but the thing about soil, I was reading somewhere about the soil in our gardens and close to our homes being just the kind of, you know, the soil that's close to us, near us, in our biosphere, if that's what it's called, that we're more likely, like that if we put our hands in that soil, that's feeding our air, that it's a really nourishing thing for our particular systems to be breathing in the air that's generated through disturbing our soil. So my mum is going to be really healthy. She disturbs, and she doesn't put anything in the soil that's damaging to it or us. So she'll have lovely air to be breathing. I don't know, did I tell you that I was in Ireland there last weekend? You know, it was my birthday, 2 weekends ago maybe. and I went over to Ireland on my own. It was a really nice thing just to have a little space where I was the one being kind of looked after. Not that I do a huge amount, the children are fantastic here, really, they do an awful lot themselves. But anyway, it was just nice to be, I suppose, the freshness of being away and back home. It's such a lovely thing. And again, the feeling of being embraced by the soil of my youth and barefoot walking there takes on a new quality altogether. Because, you know, the barefoot walks to the beach, and I did all of that again, and swam every day, and felt a kind of homecoming, which was such a nice thing. John O'Donoghue talks about when a person dies and the funeral cortege kind of drives closer around their neighbourhood. And he said, I wonder if it's the person having the last goodbye, saying the last goodbye to the land, or the land saying the last goodbye to the person. He said it much more flowery now, but more beautifully. But it was that kind of thing, that we are known by the land that we grew up in. We are known, our bodies are remembered, and I felt that holding, I felt being held by that beautiful love, really. So grateful for that. Why did I say about going home? Because what was I talking about there then? There's something totally unrelated. Can you hear the birds singing? Birds seem to be singing really even more loudly than ever before this year, I think. Or else I'm just noticing it more. Sometimes it just sounds like they're bursting with joy altogether. And when I listen back, if I listen back to the video, I'll be able to figure out what it was I wanted to tell you about going back to Ireland. Anyway, I suppose if it's important, it'll come back to me. Yeah, it was good being at home. So I'm so grateful for this beautiful bunch of flowers. And this morning I'm grateful that I've taken the time to display them nicely in that vase, because since well, it was only yesterday, was it? It was Sunday, 2 days ago. Yeah, there's been kind of things going on, like I've just done the minimum with regard to tidying up, and displaying the flowers wasn't high on the agenda, even although it was lovely to see them sitting by the sink and the jug. And I was looking forward to setting them up, but it wasn't until this morning that I thought, well, I can do that now, and wouldn't they be lovely to paint? There we are. I'm getting there anyway, sure. So I was saying to the group I was doing the demonstration for, I was talking about how beneficial it can be to be your own cheerleader as you're working and painting and stuff, like, and the fact that it's a helpful thing to do in all areas of life, really. But I remembered, and it was something I said for the first time, that I'm interested sometimes to hear myself say stuff when I'm giving a demonstration, because it feels like it's not really, well, it isn't planned beforehand. And it feels as though sometimes really some things are kind of, they rise up in the space between me and everybody else. That's a surprise for all of us, you know. What is it I was going to say? It's not a groundbreaking thing, but I felt like it was an interesting comment. It was about what it was about was physically moving, and the connection between that and the feeling of confidence and self-soothing and compassion. So having shaken it off, like jumping around and shaking it off before I started the painting, Lily, my daughter, she's my 15-year-old, she was my model, so you can imagine she was cringing watching me, but I was just saying how important it is to really dissipate the tension physically through just shaking the shoulders, even shaking the head. I'm doing it now actually. And just that physically moving the energy. And after a while you begin to really generate space around you, the feeling of alive, exuding, I don't know, it's like syrupy energy almost, where your hands move kind of slow, a bit like Tai Chi, and you feel as though you've got the whole, maybe this cloak of protection might be the thing, you know, and the 10 feet around you, the circumference of that, you feel held. And it's from that place that you can say things as you're painting like, that's okay, well done, yeah, that's it, good job, keep going, it's okay, don't worry. And for every mark you're kind of holding yourself, allowing yourself to unfold, even in the midst of stuff that you feel like you didn't mean that to happen that way, or there could be a critical voice, but it's not that voice that's given attention, it's the voice of soothing, encouraging, holding, soft, easy, effortless, moving, free, allowing, accepting, you know, that kind of, all those words that have more of a spacious feeling about them. And we spoke about perfection and this, the drive for perfection being a single-minded, rigid thing that it doesn't really allow for creativity. And there's a quote about failure. Gandhi said, freedom is not freedom unless it includes the freedom to fail. I think that might be misquoted, but it's the flavour of that now. And I thought, yeah, freedom, like there's a release in knowing that you do not have to get it right all the time, and anyway what is right, and who is the one who judges what's the right thing. And you know, I mean not in terms of morality, I just mean like, well, I don't know, I mean to not have so many shackles on us in every move we make that we can't be free, you know, in our own confident living, that we can let ourselves like just make a move, even if it's going to be a mess, maybe particularly if it's going to be a mess, you know, to just make a mess and let yourself, I don't know, I'm not wanting to do that here though. Look, I'm really enjoying this kind of gradual finding. So this isn't somewhere like the freedom here. It wouldn't feel like putting a big red splash through this. Not today. Today what I'm feeling is a gentle honoring of all Maisie's. Margot's gonna, no, it's midnight. She's gonna start eating that drawing now. Listen, that's my drawing that just fell off the wall. Midnight. She's eating the corner of it, and I like that drawing, so I'm gonna get it. There'll be a part 2.